The human mind is desperate for connection, yearning to find that rare echo. The soulmate, the perfect confidant, the mirror reflecting their deepest self. But what if that reflection is not a partner but a predator? What if that echo is not genuine affinity but a calculated silent weapon aimed directly at the core of your identity? Welcome to Psychology's Shadow. Today we dissect the mechanism known as dark mirroring. Dark mirroring is the advanced manipulation technique where the perpetrator systematically adopts the mannerisms, language, values, fears, and even subconscious vulnerabilities of a target. Not for rapport, but for strategic infiltration and eventual control. It is the art of becoming the perfect shadow, indistinguishable from the light you cast. Chapter 1. The foundation of false intimacy. The mechanics of subconscious mimicry. Before the darkness sets in, there is a technical phase. Standard healthy mirroring, a slight tilt of the head matching speaking cadence, subconscious posture alignment, is the bedrock of human rapport. It signals safety and shared identity. The dark manipulator understands this neural shortcut and weaponizes it. They begin subtly. They are not merely copying, they are observing and cataloging. If you speak quickly, they slightly accelerate their pace. If you use niche technical jargon, they incorporate it into their next sentence with a slight, almost imperceptible delay. This is not imitation, it is calibration. The goal is to achieve effective alignment, the psychological state where the target feels an overwhelming, inexplicable sense of familiarity and safety with the manipulator. They become an organic extension of the target's self-concept. The key difference is intent. The ethical mirrorer seeks mutual understanding. The dark mirrorer seeks strategic concordance. They are building a Trojan horse relationship where the target willingly lets down their defenses because the entity before them appears to be an optimized, idealized version of themselves. They are feeding the target's ego by confirming their existence, their worldview, and their inherent worth, all through imitation. This phase can last weeks or even months, establishing an unbreakable yet completely artificial bond of trust. Chapter 2. The weaponization of vulnerability, the extraction phase. Once the superficial mirroring of posture and speech is complete, the dark mirrorer moves into the deep extraction phase. This is where they mirror not only behaviors but core psychological structures. They are hunting for vulnerabilities, the deep-seated fears, the abandoned dreams, the unforgiven traumas. And the target, feeling utterly safe and seen for the first time, offers this information freely. The manipulator then mirrors these vulnerabilities back to the target, creating the perfect echo. If the target expresses a fear of abandonment, the manipulator will reveal a strangely similar yet perfectly tailored story of abandonment from their own past. If the target harbors a secret ambition to open a remote cafe in the mountains, the manipulator will coincidentally mention they too have always felt drawn to that exact specific life path. This is a terrifying feedback loop. The target sees their most fragile, hidden self reflected perfectly in the manipulator's eyes, solidifying the belief that this person is their destined counterpart. They are receiving validation for their deepest, most private psychological constructs. They are not just similar, they are psychologically fused. This false fusion is the control mechanism. The manipulator now holds the blueprint of the target's emotional architecture, ready to exploit every pressure point. Chapter 3. The strategic time delay and amplification, the echo chamber. Effective dark mirroring is never instantaneous. If the response is too immediate, the target's subconscious flags it as mimicry. The master manipulator uses a strategic time delay, the echo chamber technique. When the target expresses a nuanced opinion or displays a unique passion, the manipulator stores that data. They wait days, sometimes weeks, then reintroduce that idea, slightly amplified or rephrased, as if it were a sudden, profound realization of their own. For example, if the target mentions a specific obscure author they love, the manipulator will later discover that author and passionately discuss how this writer's philosophy perfectly aligns with their own core beliefs. This slight amplification is crucial. It ensures the target feels not only understood, but validated. The manipulator confirms the target's taste is excellent, their insight is profound, and their identity is worthy. This amplification acts as positive reinforcement, encouraging the target to reveal even more intimate data, deepening the well of exploitable information. The mirror is polished, the reflection is bright, and the target is now orbiting the manipulator, convinced they are dealing with a shared destiny rather than a calculated, data-driven performance. Chapter 4, The Dark Triad and the Mirror. Dark mirroring is the favorite tool across the dark triad personality spectrum, utilized differently by each archetype. 1. The narcissist. For the narcissist, mirroring is primarily a source of narcissistic supply. They don't genuinely care about the target's identity. They care about the reaction the mirror produces. They mirror the target's aspirations to gain adoration and praise, using the target's own self-love to fuel their ego. The moment the target stops providing adequate supply, the mirror shatters, often replaced by a sudden, brutal devaluation, where the narcissist dismisses the very traits they once mirrored. 2. The Machiavellian. The Machiavellian views mirroring as a strategic asset in a purely transactional environment. Their goal is not supply, but leverage. They mirror the boss's work ethic, the competitor's negotiation style, or the colleague's political goals, solely to gain advancement or extract resources. They are cold, calculating, and efficient. The mirroring ends the moment the utility of the target is exhausted. 3. The psychopath. The psychopath uses mirroring for ultimate emotional control and predatory pleasure. Because they lack genuine empathy, they must intellectually deduce emotional responses. Mirroring allows them to simulate connection perfectly. They mirror the target's sadness to elicit sympathy, or their excitement to encourage risky behavior. They are not building rapport. They are testing the limits of their simulated humanity, enjoying the power of watching a person fall in love with a carefully constructed void. Chapter 5. Case Studies and Breaking the Reflection. Case Study A. The Corporate Chameleon, Machiavellian Use. Alex, a rising executive, noticed his new competitor, Sarah, seemed preternaturally aligned with his vision. When he spoke of aggressive market expansion, she cited the exact same obscure financial reports he had read. When he expressed frustrations about the company's outdated structure, she used his exact phrasing, archaic silos, in a subsequent meeting. Alex felt validated and trusted Sarah implicitly, sharing confidential strategies with her, believing they were an unstoppable team. The mirroring was a perfect disguise. Sarah used every piece of shared strategy to preemptively sabotage Alex's projects, always framing the failure as a systemic issue. By the time Alex realized his ideas were being hijacked, Sarah had already climbed past him, using the strategic concordance built through dark mirroring to establish herself as the more reliable visionary leader. The mirror offered trust. The reality delivered betrayal. How to break the reflection. The fundamental defense against dark mirroring is radical self-awareness. Manipulators thrive on the target's unconscious desire for validation. You must constantly monitor for too much, too soon. If a connection feels instantaneous, overwhelming, and suspiciously perfect, if someone seems to perfectly understand your deepest neuroses within minutes of meeting, you are likely standing before a dark mirror. True connection requires friction, disagreement, and time. If the reflection you see is flawless, Look closer. Because behind every perfect mirror there is a shadow, calculating the exact moment to strike. The greatest vulnerability is the belief that someone else is the key to your completeness. Never confuse a perfectly constructed echo with a genuine soul. Stay vigilant, stay armored. We will see you in the shadow.